Welcome to Kevjet, the podcast. Shalin, co-founder of Spa Ceylon.
Thank you for having me.
It's great that you could attend in person in studio.
Yeah, so look, I'm in the UK doing a bunch of stuff. Lots of press. We're here for the Pure Beauty Awards as well. We're doing a Natural Product Expo while we're here. So very happy to be here and have this chat in person.
So I think you've been speaking all day, probably.
Yes, I have.
Different events.
Yes, I have. It's been wellness sessions, lots of conversations, but hey, that's what I'm here for.
Exactly. So tell us about your product, because you brought the product over to the UK for about 2 years now.
Yes. So Spa Ceylon is Ayurveda brand. I'll get into that.
Yeah.
So we're a wellness brand that looks at skincare, body care, aroma, fragrance, and in certain cases we're also in homeware as well, because we are so design heavy. Spa Ceylon is based on science called Ayurveda. Ayurveda comes from Southern Asia, mainly India and Sri Lanka, where we come from. And Ayurveda is a science that's over 5,000 years old, based on balance. The concept is that we're all born into this world in complete balance. And the way we live our lives, what we expose ourselves to, how we eat, how we work, how we move around, all the exposure we have in this world takes us off balance. And it's about using natural ingredients to bring ourselves back into balance. And it's a constant pursuit of hitting that perfect spot or the perfect balance. And the fact that our bodies are meant to heal itself, and using natural ingredients to be able to do that. So whether you're looking at skin, whether you're looking at hair, whether you're looking at your physical or mental well-being, balance is the key.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all the tools to achieve that balance in nature. It's all about how you use those tools, how you use nature to achieve the balance.
And so that's incorporated into all of your products.
Exactly. So we've leveraged that into skincare, into wellness, your day-to-day wellness, like stress, sleep, so on and so forth, your body care, so that you're using age-old science to give solutions to today's skincare problems, wellness problems in a very unique, holistic way.
So where did the concept come from for you to just say, I'm going to start this business and this is the approach I'm going to use? Why was that important to you?
It's a question we get constantly asked. The co-founders are myself and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And people always ask, how did two guys wake up one day and decide we're going to start a cosmetic brand or a beauty brand or a wellness brand? We grew up, and growing up in Sri Lanka, we grew up at a home where my mother started Sri Lanka's first homegrown cosmetic brand.
Okay.
It happened in our pantry, and we were kids running around when she had cake mixtures, and it started off very, very basic. And in our lifetime, or by the time we were old enough to go to university, she had built it up to a wide-scale business. It was hundreds of stores. She had also started a beauty school. She started a chain of salons. So she was kind of like the patron of beauty in Sri Lanka. And we grew up in that environment. We didn't think we'd end up working in the industry, though. But by the time I got out of university, things just fell into place that I ended up helping out with her business. And next thing you know, I was working there, and so was my brother. And years down the line, we wanted to do something that had the legs to go international. Mom's brand was a mass market brand. So unless you produced it in a given country, it didn't have the margins to go global. So we started strategizing as to what the world needed, where the world was going, and whether we could develop something in skincare wellness that could go out and conquer the world.
Yeah.
That's when we found this amazing science of Ayurveda. And then we started realizing the more we learned about Ayurveda, that it had so much potential in a world that was going green. And this was the very beginning of the green revolution. Then you had concepts like yoga taking over the world, and Ayurveda was just such a good fit. And apart from that, it's something that felt really good, because you were taking something to the world that could give so much, and it was authentic to where we came from. It was ingredients that was growing on our soil. It was knowledge that was woven into our culture. And we created a brand that was quite unique as well. If you look at our brand, it's very colorful, it's very vibrant, and all of that color, all that vibrancy comes from where we come from. And it was an opportunity to take our little island to the world. And there we are.
It's passion. It's a passion project, isn't it, for you guys? Because it's part of your of who you are. It's part of your DNA. But did you feel that it was a risk?
Of course, it was going to be a risk, but this is what we knew. We grew up around this, right? So it was, whether we knew it or not, it was almost ingrained into us that this whole the beauty wellness industries is something that has a lot of consciousness in it, because as people change, you've got to change your offering. So growing up in a world where we saw a mother develop something, I think it kind of rubbed off on the way we thought, on the way we looked at people, the way we analyze people's needs and how you can take something to it. And there's something beautiful always about what she did. She used to get lots of letters from people who had different skincare problems, who had, it could be a pigmentation thing, it could be like a crazy amount of acne, just things that kept them away from society. The people who were hiding away suddenly started using products, started feeling better about themselves, going out there and really facing the world. It changed their lives. I mean, people don't take skincare, wellness, all those things as seriously. I mean, some people think of it as vanity, but it does a lot to enhance people's lives, confidence, get people seeing the world differently, so on and so forth. I mean, it may seem like exaggerated truth, but even simple things like that kid who didn't want to go to school because they got acne, giving them a solution. So it's quite a rewarding industry to be in, because you give people, it's not just about ability, you give people confidence, and it's a beautiful place to be in.
And so you're two males in a predominantly female driven industry. Did you find that difficult?
We didn't find it difficult. Lots of other people found it strange. So what are you guys doing? But again, the fact that we came from our home and our mother was a huge influence, and growing up in that, I think that made sense. And being able to take a male perspective, but still having the sensitivities of the industry that we got from my mother was a good combination, I think.
Of course. And do you find trends with, there's times where males sort of jump onto this more often and maybe back away a little bit? Are there certain products that you find that men jump onto right away? Or was it difficult to sell to men?
Look, still, I would say about 70% of our audience is female, but we're seeing males, the way they look at grooming, the way they look at skincare, hair care is changing dramatically. I think social media culture and the fact that everyone's photographed so much and everyone's out there so much makes a difference now. And the male audience is thinking about the way they look as well, and they're thinking about long-term things like aging, and just good grooming is important to men as well. And things are changing. So, of course, the communication to men is very different. I feel it's far more straightforward. You have to simplify it, dumb it down, if you will, which we do.
Yeah.
But more and more men are getting on it.
Do you find social media is a big part of your business?
Absolutely. Particularly post-COVID, about 90% of what we do is, from a marketing perspective, is on social media. We have entered markets internationally purely on social media as well. We used to be predominantly brick and mortar pre-COVID, but that changed a lot. I think people's shopping patterns have changed. Most definitely the way they consume information has changed, and social media is a huge part of what we do. The other great thing about social media is the ability to target people differently, to give messaging differently, like I said, to message men in a different way, to talk to women in a different way, talk to different age groups in a different way. So social media gives us that balance or that accessibility in different ways. The other big one is language. We're in 31 countries. So the ability to communicate to different countries in different languages, have information accessible fast to them, and also even operating remotely in certain cases. Social media has been an amazing resource.
Do you have one product that is your top product, that is your most sold product?
I think if you talk ranges, one of the biggest selling ranges we have is a range called Sleep Intense. It's built around sleep. And if you go out anywhere in the world, really, I travel a lot and then talk about product. Two things people always have problems with. One is sleep, the other one's stress. People across age groups, across genders, across countries are having problems sleeping. So again, harnessing the power of Ayurveda, looking at ingredients and how it helps our systems calm down to the extent of being able to get deep, restful sleep, not just sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So in a lot of the cases, the big barrier for sleep is people not being able to switch off, people not being able to calm down their senses or their systems to the level that they get good sleep. So this is what the range does, and we offer it in multiple ways in terms of pillow mist, in terms of balms, lotions, and in different ways, so people can use it in different ways, and that's usually one of the most popular.
And is that across all the countries?
Across all countries. One of the ranges we open with, really, because it's understandable. Everyone's got the same issue.
It's so true.
And once people start using it, it's a really good hook product because they keep coming back.
Amazing. Is that your favorite to promote?
It's the easiest to promote,
Okay.
put it that way, because it's a very understandable sell. The other one is the de-stress range, which is something I use a lot as well because I travel as much, which is again using ingredients, age-old ingredients like frankincense, lime, sandalwood, mandarin coming together to create a de-stress formula. And how we do our wellness products is we create a formula based on Ayurveda, and then we deliver it in as many different ways as possible so people can use it in different ways. So we'll have a mist you can use while you're traveling. We'll have a balm you can have by your bedside or on your table. We'll have a candle. We'll have a shower gel you can use in the shower. And so it's giving that benefit so it fits in your lifestyle rather than having to cut away and use the product.
Right. And it's an age-old ingredient recipe from your family.
It's from Ayurveda, really. From Ayurveda, and we keep plugging in Ayurveda knowledge of thousands of years old. We also have chemists, Ayurveda doctors, and other specialists working with us to make sure that we are bringing the best of Ayurveda along with modern skin science and wellness science so that the delivery keeps getting better and is of a modern standard of what you would expect from a modern product.
Sure. If somebody saw your product next to another everyday product, how would you sell that, saying that you stand out above everybody else?
Well, the first thing that will get to you is where we look. We are vibrant. We are colorful. If you come across a Spa Ceylon store, I mean, it's the sensory overload itself is quite a bit, and we have a lot of traditional design built into it. We have a lot of artistry built into it, a huge amount of vibrant color. The fragrances are very different. They scream out as well. And it's just so different. I mean, when I do my visits in different parts of the world, you'll be walking around the mall and keep on a cosmetic floor and everything's white and beige. It's true. And then you come across a Spa Ceylon and it's a riot of color and color, design, vibrancy, and that's the first thing you notice. The next one you notice is the fragrances. The ingredients are so unique that the fragrances end up unique as well. Then you start putting it on. The textures are very rich, and again, the ingredients give rise to different textures. And Ayurveda, at the base of a lot of Ayurveda, is virgin coconut oil.
Mm-hmm.
And virgin coconut oil is a miracle oil. That ends up giving you very, very rich textures, what you're doing, and the base is all natural. So very rich textures, really different aromas, different ingredients, the vibrancy and the design, all that put together. We are very different in so many ways.
I can tell that you're very passionate about this. And I think that is such an important part of a business.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not doing it for the sale. You're doing it because you believe in it.
We love what we do. We know what we do is enhancing people's lives. On top of that, we're very passionate about where we come from. And every time we take Spa Ceylon out to the world, we're taking a little piece of our country out there. The other side of it is that everything we do allows us to give back a lot. Given that we work with natural ingredients, We do a lot of community training, get the communities involved. We get communities involved in the harvesting and planting by giving them the knowledge to do that. We get them involved in certain packaging materials and so on and so forth. We do projects with animals, elephant conservation, butterfly conservation. We've even done projects where certain endemic butterfly species that had gone extinct were brought back. We're doing projects around birds. We do projects around fruiting plants because a lot of fruiting plants around the world are disappearing because of deforestation. So we're working on reintroducing them to the forest. We do work around children and education. So what we do allows us to give back a lot to the world and a lot back to the little island of Sri Lanka, which is something very satisfying.
It's amazing. It sounds like it's an empire.
Look, it's a lot of passionate people working towards something amazing that not just gives our consumers something that's of worth, but then gives back to our little country and communities and animal life and plant life as well.
It's beautiful. It really is. How do you keep up with trends? Or do you follow trends?
Well, we do. See, the beautiful thing, I was having this conversation this morning as well. The beautiful thing about working with the science that's so old is any trend that comes by, it's already been there.
It's so true.
I'll give you an example. Things like retinol got crazy big. But when we started doing the research backwards, we found there was retinol in this ingredient called bok choy. There was retinol in rambutan leaf, which had been used for thousands of years before. The same with gamma oryzipnol, we found it in white rice. The same with so many things that it's already been in play for so long. I mean, if you look at the supplements the world is recommending now, it's moringa, it's ginger, it's, things that have been in the Ayurveda system in our food for thousands of years. So you don't really need to reinvent the wheel on that end. So what we are doing is the big trends that come up, we start matching it up with the natural ingredients and offering it up to the world as a natural alternative to ingredient trends. With
Sure. And do you find when you're targeting clients on social media, how do you know that's reaching them and it's working?
Look, that is on a very different data analytics side. We've got a very strong team handling that. We test everything we do. We're constantly testing it, constantly upgrading. We have different groups of people where we communicate with as well. And that's the great thing about social media as well. There's so much data out there. There's so much two-way communication. It's not like the old ad industry where you put a commercial up, it runs for 2 years and you don't know what people really think. So if people don't like it, you know right away. Which is another amazing thing about social media. But we put a lot of time and effort into data-driven research. We have a very open communication with our audience, and we're constantly looking at ways of enhancing people's lives. So there has to be feedback back and forth.
So it's an open interaction with your customers.
Absolutely.
Which is worldwide.
Of course. That's the beauty of it. I mean, you can be anywhere in the world and be able to do that, much like what you do here.
Yeah, very much so. And somebody in Canada might have different feedback to somebody in Sri Lanka. So is there like a fine line of matching products?
Well, yes and no. For instance, when you look at lifestyle, what's happening in this whole globalization of lifestyles is that a lot of people seem to be having the same problems, like I said, if it's sleep, or de-stress, or if it's dry skin or something like that, there seem to be universal problems. So when you look at it in that way, yes, we can in a large scale solve some of the same problems, whether you're all the way in Canada or all the way in Sri Lanka. Then you get preferences like fragrances and textures or heat versus cold and so on and so forth. So we have a range that's wide enough. We have over 680 SKUs of products, which is a lot, which means we are able to cater to a lot of people. The other great thing or the fortunate thing about us is we formulate the products, we manufacture the products in our own facility, we package the products, we market the products, we retail the products. So end-to-end is us. So our ability to cater to different customers and cater fast is quite good because the whole thing is us. And there's no contract manufacturing now that it's all us. So we are able to cater the different needs of different customers.
It's amazing because so many different companies source different bits of their business, don't they?
Yes. So that's one of the things that keep us unique as well.
That's amazing. What is new and exciting that's about to come out in your company? Do you have a new product that's about to hit the world?
Yeah. Two very, very exciting products coming out. I think it's going to be a world's first. See, forest bathing and being around the ocean, two things. Being around greenery and being around the ocean has been proved to be very, very beneficial to humans in terms of the environmental impact it has, which is quite scientific. If you look at forest bathing, there's this thing called phytoncides that the plants dispense, and that's really good for us. Similarly, the ocean does the same thing. We've been able to isolate that and recreate it using natural components. It's been patented and put into technology, and we're launching 2 ranges that have that in it. So imagine being in the thick of winter in Canada and getting the benefit of a forest bathing experience while sitting in your home, getting the benefit of being close to an ocean. So this could be great for people, not just on application, but on the way people feel. Because winters can be quite depressing. The change of climate can be quite depressing. There goes that. And giving that sense that you're out there and connecting with nature can be quite powerful. And that's what we want to deliver with these 2 ranges.
I love that every time you speak of a product, you're talking about the different senses. And I think that's so important because a scent can take you back somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's not just aroma, it's also the way that the natural ingredients interact with our bodies, and different ingredients interact with our bodies in different ways. And things as simple as putting something on a sensory point or the soles of your feet or your underarms, anything that can transmit the product into your system can really, really have a profound impact.
I love everything about this company because, and I love how passionate you are about it as well. You're not just around to have a quick sale. You know every detail that's happening in the business.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everyone in the team is like that. I mean, that's the culture we try to maintain. Because we want to be bigger than just a product company. We are a company that's taking something that's holistic and unique and something that's been woven in our culture out to the world. And if you're taking something from your home to someone else's home, it's more than just selling. It's about, hey, from my home to yours. And that feeling is in everything we do.
It feels very personal. It feels like even down to the packaging, like you said, it represents everything you are. The colors, it feels like you've wrapped a gift at Christmas almost. It's so,
absolutely. Yeah. If you look at our packaging, everything looks gift wrapped because every flower is designed by us. And even when you touch the packaging, it's not just a print. There's texture on it. When you open it up, there's a different texture there. The aromas are different. Every experience you have with a Spa Ceylon product, we want it to be a unique experience. Whether it's just seeing it, whether it's going up to a store and touching it, opening it up and reaching into the box, taking it out, putting it on you, what happens after that? Every step is another moment of truth. And we spend so much time ensuring that happens. And even the shopping experience at Spa Ceylon, if you go to a Spa Ceylon store, it's not somewhere you go to buy product. It's somewhere you go to have an experience. You step in the door and the first thing you see is the vibrancy, the color, the design that's unique in Spa Ceylon. One more step in, you start hearing the music, which is, again, we've got 5 music albums in Spa Ceylon.
Amazing.
Which have sounds of nature and instruments that are from Sri Lanka playing the music. One more step in, you get the aromas, which is uniquely Spa Ceylon. Then the products, then all the artistry that comes with it. And it's just layers and layers and layers of experience. And watching people just walk through a store, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It is such a nice experience because, again, we put so much thought and time into ensuring that it's something that people remember. And the more senses you engage, the more it goes into memory. And we call ourselves a multi-sensory experience. And we try to keep that in everything we do.
And it's very hands-on in the store itself, like you
Oh,
said.
absolutely, absolutely.
It's amazing. Do you have anything specific that you'd like to speak about product-wise?
Well, apart from the launch, well, I mean, we've got a lot of product. We've got body, bath, beauty, hair, aroma, a vast amount of product. And the good thing about the product is the 100% of the actives are natural, so you know it's good for you. The brand is very conscious in the way it does things in terms of an impact on human life, animal life, plant life, and the environment. So you know that when you use one of our products, you are not causing any harm to yourself or anyone else. There's a lot of authenticity in the brand, being that our ingredients are sourced locally. Our science comes from our country. We are second generation going into third generation of a family that's been in the industry. So everything is quite holistic. And when you use a Spa Ceylon product, you'll come to realize that, and you become part of that family. You become part of that holistic experience. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to build consumers. We want to build a larger family of Ayurveda users enhancing their life using the products we take out to the world.
Sure. Is your mother still with us?
No, she isn't. She passed away a little over 12 years ago.
Okay.
But her brand's still running in Sri Lanka. We run that as well.
And so did she know that you were jumping onto this?
She did. She saw the first 5-6 years of it. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So I love that it's a whole family vibe. And I think that's probably a little bit of the secret to the success.
I know the third generations come on board as well.
Oh my goodness. That was not planned. Sorry about that. Yeah, I love that it's the family vibe is probably a little bit of the recipe, I think, for success.
It's very personal. Let me put it that way. It's very personal that it comes from my family. It's very personal that it comes from my country. The ingredients come from our soil. The science is woven into our culture. The designs on the packaging is things that were drawn on the walls, in our temples, in our historic monuments, and inspired by them. So it's a very, very personal thing that we're sharing.
And when you talk about the world, you get to travel the world because of this.
Absolutely. Little more than I'd like sometimes, but it's a lot of traveling. The de-stress range does me well.
There you go. You put it into practice.
Oh, every day. Every day.
What's your favorite city to visit?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's really hard. It depends really. I enjoy most of the traveling as long as I'm managing to get enough sleep in between. It's always nice. Again, so passionate about what we're doing with this, the ability to go and spread the word about this. And every time we go and set up a store or talk about the brand, it's also an opportunity to talk about our country, our art, our family, which is a privilege. So I take every country I land in quite seriously, and I'm just bursting at the seams, happy to be there.
I think you leave a little bit of your culture in every country you visit.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're so proud.
Absolutely. And when you go somewhere and you see someone carrying a Spa Ceylon bag, and it just gives you a little tug on the heartstrings, and it's such a joyous thing.
Do you find that your sales match online or in person, like in person or online? Are they equal or?
See, some countries like the UK, right now we are 100% online, but most other countries we have brick and mortar as well.
Sure.
If you take Sri Lanka, for instance, we've got a lot of stores. We've got 42 stores just in little Sri Lanka. So, of course, brick and mortar, that's better. But as the way things are evolving, eventually, I think what we'll be looking at experience stores and bulk of the sale coming online. But at the moment, it's still brick and mortar.
I think it's probably because you get to have that experience with the products.
Yeah. So if you gave me an option of how I'd like people to experience product, I'd love the physical experience because it's multi-sensory, and I think that's quite a special thing. But we do our best to give some semblance of that when we do what we do digitally as well.
So getting back to men in the industry, if you were to meet a man that was to say, Tell me about this product. I'm a little bit interested, but I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to try. What would your sale be? How would you sell that to them?
In terms of men, it has to be very result oriented, and you have to break it down and say, look, it's only going to take you 3 minutes a day.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. People are just like, oh, how long do I have to do this? How every morning and every night?
And what's nice about how we develop product is that we develop it so it fits in your routine. So we'll say, okay, you're going to shower anyway. So we're going to give you sleep or de-stress shower gel. So you get the benefit of it while you shower. You're going to wash your face anyway. We're going to give you a face wash instead of using a soap that will help you. 2 minutes before you go to sleep, we'll give you our dye sheet and just put it on. And your whole pitch to men is, look, it's 3 minutes more than usual.
Yeah.
And what you're going to end up with is better looking skin, and people are going to notice.
And it brings confidence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What would you say to people that are like, oh, but I can just go down the road and get Botox?
We are, again, it's about being holistic. It's about letting your body and your skin do what it's prepared to do for you. What's happening to a lot of people is they're looking older than they need to be much earlier. So for us, it's not about anti-aging. It's about well-aging. We all must age, but let's age well. So it's the whole thing is embracing where you're going, but allowing your skin, your body, your mind to be at its best on that journey.
And feeling great.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, feeling confident, feeling happy. Look, something we always say, life is the pursuit of joy, right? And you might as well enjoy the journey. And how are you going to enjoy it? I mean, if you're looking good doing it, you're going to enjoy it.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And so that's an easy sale for all the senses, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So using a Spa Ceylon product is, like I said, an experience. So it doesn't matter if you're just putting a lotion on because your skin is dry. We give you an aroma that's going to make you feel good about it. The process of putting it on, we're going to make it non-greasy and highly absorbent, so it feels good. And then, of course, there's no greater feeling than when someone turns around and says, hey, you look good, or you smell good, or something like that. And it's about giving you the kind of skincare, the kind of aroma, and the kind of body care where people are going to notice that they're taking care of yourself.
One thing that I do notice is when you introduce something new to somebody, they would often say, but I've been using this face cream for years. So it's my go-to. So how would you get them to try that new?
So one big one with people who say, I've been using the face cream for years is it right for you right now?
I like that. I like that. I'm going to use that with my podcast.
Because with age, you need to change what you're using. With what you're doing, you need to, are you spending more time outdoors now than before? You may have changed your job, you may have changed your lifestyle, but are you still using the same thing you used when you were 18 or 20? So your life is going to change. You as a human being have changed. You cannot continue using the same stuff throughout. You have to allow that to evolve as well. The other thing is that with time, just like everything else around us, things are improving. Even the same face cream would have improved. So why not keep looking at things that work for you and look at, as you evolve, look at things that products also that have evolved enough to give you the best of what you could have. I think we need to be, as human beings, in constant pursuit of being better in everything we do. So why not in your skincare, your hair care, your well-being as well?
I think it's important that people start looking at their own well-being because we're so busy at our jobs and we're busy trying to please everybody around us, but people need to start looking at themselves.
I saw an example, I can't remember the exact example, when someone was like, if you bought a $10 million car, how would you look after it? And people said that, okay, what about yourself? You're the most valuable thing you have in your life. How are you looking after that? So it's something we really need to think about. Yes, we can pursue everything else, but if you're not looking after yourself, it's what's really the point? Because you're going to come to a point where you look at yourself in the mirror and feel bad, or look at yourself in the mirror and don't feel like you're the person you thought you were, or you suddenly notice like, hey, I've forgotten to look after myself.
Yeah.
Which is a scary thing. So I think we owe it also to our friends, family, everyone around us, to give them a nudge every now and again. And say,
it's so true.
How are you doing? Are you taking the time to look after yourself as much as you may be looking after business or even someone else?
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love everything that this business has around it. The ingredients of the business itself is as good and nourishing as the ingredients and the products.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is the philosophy of Ayurveda. It's about balance and the balance of being balanced internally and externally. And if you look at life like that, really, it's about how you treat yourself and how you treat the people around you. And if you're treating yourself well and you're treating the people around you well at the same time, you're going to end up in a really good place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we try to do even in our business philosophy.
What's your favorite part of this job?
I think for me, on a very personal level, being able to tell this beautiful story that comes from this tiny little island. I keep calling it tiny little island because if you look at us on a map, we're a dot, right? And we're an island packed with so much natural resources, the science of Ayurveda, arts and culture, all that. And we've managed to pack a lot of that into what Spa Ceylon is. To be able to take this story and tell it to the world is one of the most rewarding things. And of course, telling the story to the world and exposing people to the story means that it's going to enhance their lives. So I love what I do.
It's beautiful. If these people listen and they think, where can I find them? I need to buy this product. Where can they find you?
So first of all, our website, spaceylon.co.uk. We are also on Amazon. We are also on Debenhams. We are on Superdrug as well. But our website will give you a more holistic picture of what we're all about. Of course, there's a social media. You can get us on Instagram, Facebook, all that as well. And different countries will have their different country stores.
Sure.
Type us in on Google and you'll find us.
Amazing. I will add all of the links to this episode as well.
Thank you.
Amazing. Cool.
Good.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having us. Oh, yeah. So we've got some stuff for you to try.
Lovely.
And in there, have you got the...
We've got the de-stress.
Okay, I'm going to give you a price.
Yeah, of course.
So
bring it on. I'm going to need more than that.
So this is a de-stress vest. I carry this in my backpack when I travel. It's small enough that it doesn't get you in trouble with security. Plus, it works really well for jet lag. Works well if you're tired. Really good for hangovers as well.
All of those things I experience.
So, like I said, it's a little bit of...
I love the packaging. Yeah.
So each of those flowers that you see on there is all done in-house. Like we've designed everything.
So I'll get you to try this.
Sure.
I'm going to spray it on both your thumbs.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there. And I'll get you to cover your nose and mouth.
Okay.
Breathe in deeply in with your nose, out with your mouth.
Uh-huh.
Just 3 times. In with the nose, out with the mouth.
I love that. That's amazing. Yeah. Straight away you feel that.
Yeah. So we've given you some other stuff as well. I'll let you discover that on your own.
Amazing.
Let us know how you feel about it.
I will.
Always nice to get feedback.
Wow, that woke me up.
So...
And the packaging is so special as well. It's not just you open it out of a box and you throw the box away. Yeah. I love that. Thank you very much.